It's weekly rotation time, and honestly, everyone, this week is being pretty non-eventful. I don't have a hell of a lot to say about the perfumes I wore this week. I wore a couple of samples, one of which I finished, one of which I still have maybe one more wear left. I'll talk about those first. So the first one I wore and finished off was a sample from the brand Gravel. This one is American Dream. It is a very pleasant citrus cologne style perfume, very much in the style of Dior's Eau Sauvage EDT, the original. And all I'll say about it is it's very well done, and if anyone is after something that is probably a little bit more present on the skin than the current formulation of Eau Sauvage, you could do worse, then check that out. If the performance of Eau Sauvage is an issue for you, definitely try Gravel's American Dream. Now that I've finished the sample, I don't feel like I need any more of it. It was perfectly pleasant, nice warm weather scent. The second sample that I have worn this week is, I think this one was a limited edition perfume. Not sure if it's still available, from Clair Scents. This is Pandora. This one's called Pandora. And without going too much into it, there is it's a really, one thing I will say about Diane Sinclair in terms of her style, the perfumes that she composes, that I've tried at least anyway, she has a real way with florals. This one is no exception. This one focuses, I think, from memory. Actually, I'm going to just spray a little bit on just to refresh myself and tell you what I'm actually smelling when I'm wearing it. There's actually a really nice orange note in here, or something that like orange. It's a very kind of a sweet citrus note, but underneath that there's a gorgeous kind of thick velvety orris. It's quite buttery as well, and I love how lush and well blended her perfumes are. There, it's very difficult to separate notes when you're smelling her perfumes. They have a kind of classic style about them in terms of how they wear. Very much old school classic French perfumery. She has a deft touch with Chypre style perfumes, and there are other perfumes. She does florals really well. And Pandora is such a good orris note. Given that I'm not a huge fan of iris/orris, this one is a really good wear. I just like its texture. It's really smooth and velvety. I'll quickly go through the bottles from my collection that I wore this week, starting off with, and in no particular order, I really enjoyed wearing my Borneo 1834, now my favourite patchouli dominant perfume. I also wore the wonderfully weedy, steamy green Foy by Miskeo Parfums, the last release Miskeo has put out. Stay tuned, there might be some new releases this year. I also had the opportunity to wear Antaeus by Chanel, and I realised, you want to know something stupid, I realised that for pretty much the whole time that I've had this bottle, and we're talking years here, this little collar around the cap has been dislodged and stuck inside the cap of the bottle. And for years, I just thought it was a fault with the bottle, where I could never clip the cap on like that and hold it from the cap. It would never clip, and I just didn't realize that this collar was stuck inside. And I always thought it was strange that the sprayer, the atomizer bit of this bottle didn't have a collar, and you could see the metal crimping on there. So there you go. I can have a bottle for several years and then not realize what the issue is. Another old favorite, Comme des Garcons 2-man incense, one of the more unique incense perfumes I have worn. I still really very much enjoy wearing it. I really don't like this bottle design because you can't, the way I store my perfumes, they're all in drawers standing up, and you can't stand this up. So I kind of have to rest it between bottles or lie it down and take up extra real estate. And the other perfume that I wore on the weekend was Diptyque by l'Artisan Parfumeur. This is kind of like a sister to my now empty bottle of Timbuktu. This is, I always look at, smell these two perfumes and I can see the connection. Same perfumer. There are some accords that have similarities. They share some similarities. And I always feel like Timbuktu is, the warmer weather version, or this is the cooler weather version of Timbuktu. But Diptyque is, only behind Seville à l'Aube as my favorite l'Artisan. And the perfume that I wore every day this week, 7 days in a row, was 34 Boulevard Saint-Germain. I can never pronounce 34 in French properly, so I won't try and do that now. This perfume, unlike recent weeks when I've worn the single perfume over the whole week, I had an interesting experience with this and a really good experience. This perfume every day showed me something different. There was slight temperature variations this last week. This time of the year, you can still get warmer afternoons. The mornings are quite brisk and cool. And depending when I sprayed it, whether it was early in the morning or later in the day, some days I would get the green notes that come through here, in particular, sort of this green waxy tuberose. There's even like a hint of eucalyptus that comes through. Other days I would get florals, white florals, and then on another time I would spray it and I would get all the really nice yummy resins that sit in the base of this perfume. It really does live up to its inspiration of trying to smell like the flagship, the actual physical flagship store for Diptyque in Paris. I love this Diptyque perfume. Look, it's a little bit, some men might find this a little bit too feminine for them, but I think it's pretty unisex. And, as long as if you're a guy and you're okay wearing something that's slightly on the floral side, I am, but, some guys aren't. Definitely try this out. It's actually it's one of the more beautiful perfumes in my collections in that, some perfumes I own and wear I would describe as very pretty, and this is one of the very pretty ones that I own and love. Like I said, that seemed to be a very brief rundown of my week in perfume and my rotations. I don't have really anything else to say. I've got a couple of, interesting videos coming up, so I hope you stay tuned. And of course, let me know in the comments what you've been wearing this last week, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye for now.